Chris Cheetham-West is an international keynote speaker, author, and founder of LR Training Solutions. He's formerly at Google, so he's really smart, clearly. He helped organizations use emerging technology to improve marketing performance, customer engagement, and revenue growth. He now speaks to chambers and association leaders on AI-driven visibility, showing teams how to reach members where it matters while boosting engagement, retention, event participation, and sponsorship value with practical AI workflows. He's the author of Digital Marketing for Results and Leading in a Virtual World. I hope you will all please join me in welcoming Chris to the stage.
All right, did you know 97% of people search online before they make a purchase? So when I heard that statistic years ago, I was shocked because I really didn't realize that so many people go online before they even make any type of decision. So today I'm going to talk about tips that you can use for your organization, your chamber, and how to grow using marketing techniques, AI strategies, and also how to have a better customer experience for all the people that are within your organization. So I look forward to sharing some useful techniques. So thanks for the introduction. Don't have to go into anything else. But for some reason, I always tell people this. For some reason, whenever I post a picture of myself on Facebook or LinkedIn, I get about 15, 20 likes. I post a picture of my family, my wife and kids, I get hundreds of likes. I don't know what it is. So I just don't know what's going on. And so this is my oldest son right here. Yeah, so it's crazy, right? See, I don't get that reaction when when I'm posting. I dress nice though. That's the thing, you know. But overall, so that's the idea. I don't get it. But in general, what matters for chambers? When it comes to AI, what is AI? So AI is a system that can mimic human behavior. All right, before we would have to input exactly what we need and the computer will give us what we need. But now this is helping us learn and the AI is learning from us as well. So I'm going to share useful tips on how you can utilize this for your organization. So by the end of the presentation, you're going to know exactly what you need to do starting Monday or even starting this week when it comes to your organization and business. So how often do you use AI? How often do you use it? Daily? Hourly? Every minute? For any decision in life, right? All right. Well, so when we do a study, we work with organizations and we talk to their executives, and then we talk to some of their employees, and we give them a survey to figure out what is their experience when it comes to this technology. And a lot of people are saying, well, they're kind of curious, they're not sure what to think, they're not sure how to move forward with it, and most people they use it often, but one thing is for sure, they're scared to use it when it comes to their workplace because their employers are not sharing exactly how they should use it. So then they back off and they say, you know what, I'm just going to secretly use it or I'm going to not use it at all. Anybody secretly use it? That work? Don't want to admit? Right? So how would you describe your skill level? Beginner, intermediate, or advanced? What do you think? Beginner? Intermediate, so I heard a lot of intermediates. Why would you say intermediate? Anybody want to say? What about beginner? What makes you say beginner? Yes. Okay. Okay, got it. So you don't have a username, password, you don't log in, things like that, yeah. Okay, got it. Sounds good. So one thing I noticed when I would work at technology companies is that a lot of the technology we were introduced, people would be already aware of them. The companies will be already aware of the technology, but the thing about it is they wouldn't know how to use it. They would just scratch the surface. So I always tell organizations all the time, if you spend 5 minutes a day or even 10 minutes a week just learning these basics, going into the settings, looking at the news articles, looking at what's new within the tool that you're using, you can become an intermediate user easily. So it's just about going into those tools and not relying on the basic knowledge you have right now. So where are we today when it comes to the impact? How do you think AI played a role in our day-to-day lives before ChatGPT? Anybody want to say? How was it in your day-to-day life before ChatGPT? Okay, yeah, Siri. There we go. Siri. Okay, Siri. Anything else? Okay, Amazon suggestions, Netflix. Got it. So it was already involved when it comes to the content that we use. It's just now that's more popular. So we have Siri, like somebody said, social media recommendations. We have Face ID as well. So there's a lot of different ways that it was already implemented in our lifestyle. So when I usually upload videos to social media, I put captions on it and I put some beer on it using a tool. And I was on a plane one day and the tool wasn't working, and it wasn't working until I landed. And that's when I realized it was using AI. And it was using the internet to create that content. So sometimes you're using it and you don't even realize it. So one undervalued area when it comes to AI is the fact that you can use it to predict what's happening in the future and also real-time information. So what would you like to predict in your organization? What would you like to predict? Attention? Retention, okay. Anybody else? Growth? All right. And I usually say, what would you like to predict in your personal life? But everybody says lottery, so I don't even say it anymore, right? And also, so predict. You can predict, okay, how is my revenue going to grow in the next year? What is going to happen with as far as retention when it comes to my organization? So there's a lot of things you can predict. So if you're trying to figure out where to invest your money into AI, first you got to think about, what do I want to predict in my business? And then we go to the real time. So whatever data we're looking at right now, what can I get in real time? For example, let's say there's a lot of people use this when it comes to security footage. They connect what's being seen to real-time information in the past and what can happen in the future. So real time and predicted, that's one you want to remember. So why for chambers? Because if you use AI, there's a lot of different reasons. For one, you can experience growth and you can be seen as credible to the people that are involved in trying to get involved in your organization. So what tools do you currently use right now? What AI tools do you currently use right now? ChatGPT, okay. Copilot, all right. Is that an argument going on? Copilot versus ChatGPT? Okay. Gemini, okay, great. Okay, perfect. So again, a lot of the companies we talk to, the employees, they say, well, they're using ChatGPT, and that's great. But the challenge is you want to make sure you're using multiple tools just so you can get different information overall and better information based on the tool you use. So you got to realize that each of these tools have their strengths and they have their weaknesses. So most people said ChatGPT here. So when it comes to these tools, you have ChatGPT. It's good for integrating a lot of other tools, Microsoft Teams, Google Calendar, things like that. And then, of course, the general information you get. And then you have Copilot. So really good when it comes to emails. You got Gemini. It gives you a list of all the ways they found your information online. Also, you have Claude as well. So this is good for long format content. So if you want to make a 30-page document, PDF, or white paper, it's really good to use this tool. And Perplexity. Perplexity is good because it will give you the sources where it found the information from. So you use regular tools, ChatGPT. Sometimes it gives you the sources, but most of the time it's not going to give you where it found the information. Perplexity will give you exactly where they got the info from. But why this is important for you is because it just doesn't bring up the websites, it brings up credibility markers. So for example, if I'm looking for a chamber in Houston, Texas, it's going to bring up not only the website, but it's going to bring up press releases. It's going to bring up social media platforms such as YouTube, Instagram. So it's not just have a website and be done with it. You have to be good online as well for Perplexity to recommend you. So another thing you want to decide on is what tools are you already using? So if you're using Google, Gemini might be a good fit because it's already integrated. If you're using Microsoft, Copilot might be a good fit because it's already integrated. So I use Google, and basically, if I upload my content to Gemini, like Google Sheets, Google Documents, it can automatically summarize the information that I'm getting. So for example, now, you don't even have to find formulas. So years ago, you would go to Google and try to find the formula of what you're trying to accomplish in Excel. But now you literally can just ask Gemini what you need, what kind of graphs you need, what type of content you need. So it's a lot easier now. And then you have the specific AI tools that are for a task. For example, writing, content. This is for video as well right here.
You can tweak
audio.
it right here. So now let's have a listen to these voices.
Oh, hi there. How's your day going? I just picked up a new book.
Oh, hi there. How's your day going? I just picked up a new book from...
Oh, hi there. How's your day going? I just picked up a new book from the store.
So I like the last one the most. So then you select the voice and then you can give it a name. So I'm gonna do Karen, middle-aged female American. Then you can give it a label. So for the language you wanna do.
All right. So when it comes to the audio they use, for example, if you wanted to make a video, maybe you wanted to animate it, and you don't want to use your voice or you wanted to change the voice, you can type in what you need right here, and then from there, it's going to create the voice for you. And you can do it by emotion, or the anger, or the sad, and other areas as well. So let's look at how we can do this from a communication standpoint. So when it comes to communication, it's important, whether it's email or engaging people in person. I'm part of a program called Goldman Sachs Small Business Program, and every week we would go to a session, and in the session they'll have experts on leadership, management, sales, and marketing. So every time they would give us a case study on how to run your business. So a lot of the case studies had paragraphs of content, and then from there it also had questions we should answer as a group. So for some reason, one person from another group would always get the answers within 30 seconds, even though they gave us 20 minutes to complete the task. And we found out that all she did was take a picture and put it into AI technology, right? So that's when I realized there's so many ways to use AI, not just asking it for quick questions, but taking pictures, taking videos, using audio as well. Now, whenever we're communicating with people, we want them to understand what we're doing. We want them to help us move forward in our goals as well. And so it's important to use the right wording. So for example, instead of the word need, you can use the word important. Instead of the word should, you can use the word imperative. So when somebody says you must do something, what comes to mind? Order, all right? So maybe you can use a necessary instead, or have to, crucial. Now, years ago, if I wanted to create content on the website or my email, or overall I wanted to be a better communicator, I would go to Google and say, give me a list of power words, and I'll get a PDF document with 100 words on it. Now you don't have to do all of that. Now you go to like a Gemini and say, hey, what kind of words can I use instead that'll make my message more impactful? And let's take a look. We have original phase, you need to join the chamber. Now, more impactful version, joining the chamber is important for your local visibility. You have to attend this mixer. Attending this mixer is crucial for expanding your B2B network. So it's giving you reasons why you should join, giving you ways to make your message more powerful. The interesting part about this is, for years as a presenter, I would use a study about how using reasoning can help you get your point across. So this is it right here. So a researcher did a study over 40 years ago, and she said she wanted to figure out what type of excuses would get people in front of the line if they went to local businesses and tried to get in front of the line in front of others. So she said she hired multiple actors to go to these printing shops and to use one of three excuses. Excuse me, I have 5 pages. May I use a Xerox machine? Real information, excuse me, I have 5 pages. May I use a Xerox machine because I'm in a rush? And the excuse that didn't make sense, excuse me, I have 5 pages. May I use a Xerox machine because I have to make copies? So what do you think got them in front of the line more than others? Which excuse? 1, 2, or 3? 2? All right, let's take a look. Looks like the real reason, 94%, but the fake reason didn't make any sense, 93% of the time. So it's interesting that AI is already using this type of reasoning. Using the word because, giving people a reason will help them engage. So if you're posting on social media, hey, in the caption you can say, share this with your team or friends because we're trying to reach out to more people in the community. And not only that, but if you want to keep people coming back to your chamber, think about how can you implement something new in your business, in the organization. What is new that can help them come back and see what's going on? I have a family member that went to Six Flags in San Antonio, and she said, oh, we had a great time. And I said, okay, yeah, I used to work there. I rode all the rides. But she said, no, there's new rides. And I immediately thought to myself, we might want to go there because there's something new that is there. So maybe this is new training. Maybe this is new abilities to work with you. Maybe it's something new when it comes to AI. If you mention AI in your capabilities and what you're doing, you seem more credible and you seem more new in thinking towards the future. So that can lead people back to your chamber. Now, you have new, but you also have hits, right? You also have things that people are enjoying already. Franklin Beverly, famous artist, he once said that they would go on tour and sing a lot of songs, but one thing they would do is they would introduce new songs that they wanted people to hear. And he would say, well, whenever he would introduce those new songs, he would basically get booed, because you would go to a concert, you want to hear those hits, right? So always think about what is working when it comes to your brand, but keep doing that as well. Now, using voice is important, and I think it's underutilized when it comes to this technology. So, for example, maybe you want to learn how to use voice messages a little bit more clear when you're doing sales. You can say, write a 20-second voicemail for a chamber commerce leader reaching out to a business that recently expanded or relocated to a region, including one credibility marketer, one curiosity hook, and one clear next step. So it gives you all of that information just to practice. And it doesn't have to be that you're doing this, maybe a team member's doing this, or maybe if you're training like a chatbot to do this as well, it can help you out. So make it warmer with referral base as well. A lot of different ways you can use this information. But also when it comes to role play. So instead of me typing up, asking advice, I can bring up the voice option and talk with these AI tools so I can get to be a better communicator. So for example, I can say, act as a local business owner who is not currently a member of the Chamber of Commerce. I'm a Chamber of Commerce leader calling to introduce the value of joining the Chamber. And then right here, you can say, during the conversation, you should ask questions about why you should join, respond naturally as a business owner would, what are the pushbacks that somebody will have. So if you do this, then not only are you using AI effectively, but also you are becoming a better communicator, or your team is becoming a better communicator by doing these type of role-play interactions.
With the chamber. So could you clarify what it actually does for businesses like mine? I've heard about chambers, but I'm hesitant because I'm unsure if it's worth it. How exactly does it help with networking opportunities? And realistically, what kind of visibility or return on investment should I expect if I join?
So return on investment, you're going to get a good return because you're going to network with a lot of people, similar businesses, and you'll be able to connect with people in the community, which will help you then grow your business, be well connected.
I understand the general idea of networking, but can you give me a concrete example? Let's say I join. What's a specific success story of a business that saw measurable growth in visibility or revenue? I just want to understand how tangible these outcomes might be.
Okay, so that's when I started struggling to expand those benefits. I was like, okay, well, that's enough, right? Okay, I get the idea. But in general, using it for that sense. So anybody have too many emails? All right, too many emails. Anybody have not enough emails? Anybody open an email and you read it, it's 4 paragraphs long, and then afterwards you still don't know what's going on? All right, so let's have technology help us with that issue and those challenges, right? So here we have, you can summarize client emails in 3 bullet points. And look at this, when you ask it for a response, don't just say, well, make this email better. Give it the tone of voice you're trying to reach. So tone, confident, consultative, executive level. So again, it's not just, hey, make this email sound better, but it's giving it an idea of how you want it to sound. Do you want to be more assertive? Do you want to be more relaxed? Do you want to be more urgent? That's what's going to get you the responses you need. Instead of doing 20 different prompts, do 1 to 2 prompts. So what areas do you think AI will be most useful in your work? What do you think? Any ideas? Automation, okay. All right. Communication, okay. Time management, okay. What's that back here? Information, okay, information, right? Okay, so many different, yes. Data, okay, yeah, for sure. Let's take a look. So AI for documents, we talked about communicating, we talked about emails. Now let's talk about how can you create documents when it comes to AI? So over here, we have membership retention plan right here. We have public opinion poll, ACCE, then we have membership impact. And we can say, summarize this document, what are key points in section 3, compare the spreadsheet to others as well. So there's a lot of different ways to use this. You can combine documents into one. So what I decided to do, I said, I'm going to say I want to update our member retention strategy, make updates based on this report from ACCE. All right, so, and also you could say, well, upload my document and figure out if my membership packet is up to date based on industry standards. And it researches for you. And then we have a full document right here. So again, saves a lot of time. So that's one type of document. And also, you have videos. Anybody do videos for the chamber? Okay, videos, okay. And some people are discouraged from doing videos because they don't like how they sound when they do videos. Guess what? This technology can help you with that as well. So this is the Descript. I intentionally said a lot of ums in this video, and then I had it take off the ums. Hello, so today I'm going to be doing this training for technical professionals. So it's going to be a... And then it takes off the ums. Hello, so today I'm going to be doing this training for technical professionals. So it's going to be a lot of... So no excuses, right, to make these videos. So here, and remember, it's not just for quick answers. It's not just for make this email sound better, but go into these settings to look at what's possible. So you can learn, you can add graphics, do videos, you can do a lot. Now, let's talk about agents. How can you use agents when it comes to AI for your chamber? So you could do member opportunity identification. It can analyze announcements. So I'm going to talk about that. Economic development, analyze industry trends, granted funding research, identify different type of grants for small businesses. So let's talk about that. I have a presentation that is about, I'll say 50 slides, and I made it in 2023. And I wanted to update this presentation, but I said, you know what? Instead of me going slide by slide to figure out if the statistics are correct, let me use AI to figure out if it can help me with that. So I told AI, I said, this file contains my presentation. Please let me know what techniques are outdated in agent mode. And so what it did was it researched the web about all the statistics that I had in that presentation, as well as the graphics, the content. And then within about 5 minutes, it gave me a list of the content that needs to be removed and edited and the statistics that were incorrect. I recently did a presentation with a large organization to technical professionals, and they said they literally have to go page by page of a 100-page document to see what needs to be changed year after year. So this will save them hours at a time. Now, how does this relate to chambers? So right here I said, let me look for some articles that might relate to companies and businesses. Expanding our West Coast Productions Hub in Albuquerque right here. What you could do as a chamber, you can say, hey, here's the new article. Analyze this company's expansion news. What opportunities might this create for local businesses, suppliers, and service providers? Then draft 3 ways the Chambers of Commerce could help connect its opportunities to members. You could do that, or you could say, how can this news article help me? What do I need to prepare for? How can this help us get funding? What we need to do next? And then it researches the web, and it finds out what type of content needs to be done. And from there, it gives us a list of the possibilities to these chambers. The production services, equipment, construction, how Chamber of Commerce can connect, talking points. So it gives you a lot of information that's possible. Now, when it comes to this AI, a lot of companies that I talk to, they say, well, we don't want to use it because there's not an industry tool specifically for us. And I want to tell you, you don't have to wait for an industry-specific tool to happen, even though there might be some tools available in the future. Instead, you can customize what you're already using right now. So custom GPTs for small business advisor, grant funding research, local tourism promotion, a lot of different ways you can customize what you already have right now. So basically what I'm saying is when you log in, you don't have to have the standard screen that you see. You can have it customized to your job specifically right here. So you could check it out, custom GPTs as well. Now, when people think of this technology, they think, well, it's about saving money. But in reality, how can this technology help the entire organization, the entire chamber, everybody that works there? If you have employees that have a easier job, a more relaxing job, that's better for retention. That's not just about saving money, that's about keeping your people satisfied as well. So think about it for each department, every person that works there, how can this technology benefit them the best? Anybody go to too many meetings? Not enough meetings? A lot of meetings don't succeed because there's no agenda. So creating that agenda and then following up, not just going to meeting after meeting without getting any results. Right? So ChatGPT gives you a clean discussion, time limits, and you create a 20-minute meeting agenda for what's going on. So let's watch this video about meetings real quick.
Trip Crosby
has joined the meeting.
Beth?
Has joined the meeting.
Hello?
Tyler?
No, this is Beth from ICS.
Oh, hey, Beth. How are you doing?
Oh, good. Yeah. Just making it,
Tyler?
Has joined the meeting.
All right, well, this is Trip. Who's here?
Tyler's here.
Beth's here.
Okay, the purpose of today's meeting is to discuss the...
Yeah, I'll be able to do it in like 30 minutes. John?
Has joined the meeting.
Hi, John.
Hi.
I was just trying to go over the purpose of today's meeting, which is to discuss the Tyler?
Has joined the meeting.
Sorry, guys, I got cut off. Is Paul here? Send him an invite.
Put in your access code.
No, that's your PIN number.
It should be a 9-digit number.
Try pressing the pound key.
Paul.
Has joined the meeting.
Any questions before we move on?
Yes, this is Beth. What's our best plan of attack for the second quarter?
Question
What
actually...
we should do.
Oh,
Go ahead. Oh, well, I think what we should do.
It actually
really
depends on
diversify.
how you look at it, because
and really come.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Given sales, we're at a...
Let me just say that...
Okay.
That's a great graph, John. Tyler?
Well, my main concern with the projections from last year was that they're just insufficient. I mean, they're not even taking into account.
Did we lose Tyler again?
Hello?
John, are you guys taking distributions? John?
Oh, my bad. I was on mute. Let me start over.
So I've prepared a presentation. I'm sharing it with all of you. You should be able to see it on your screen right now.
Got it.
I don't see a link anywhere.
It says I need to download a plugin.
We are all using Macs, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
How can you?
Financials are looking great. Paul, do you have any comments on staffing?
I was thinking about that because we get a few more contractor types in. Hold on, I'm sorry.
Rex, get down!
I don't know. I feel like when I looked at the numbers last year, yeah, you couldn't really tell a huge difference. So if we were to really tighten that up, then I don't
To me, staffing is a huge impact.
What is that?
Is that me? Is that me?
It's not me, I don't think.
I just want to go over a couple of details as we move into our next section here. We got 3 new departments coming on board.
I'm breaking up a little bit, guys.
By the end of Q3.
Driving to
So
a dead
I need
spot.
everyone to give me detailed evaluations each
Sorry,
month
guys.
so that we know. That's it, guys. Beth, you'll send out a recap email that could have basically taken the place of this whole meeting, correct?
Yep, always do.
Yeah, thanks for doing that, Beth. Dave, you been here the whole time? Yeah. Huh. Well, thanks everyone once again.
All right, anybody had a meeting like that? Anybody had a meeting like that? Anybody had a meeting like that today? Pretty much? All right, so as you can see, a lot of distractions that can happen in a meeting. Let's make sure that we avoid all those scenarios, right? So when it comes to your meetings, instead of having a note taker, you can give people a task of just overall having some notes and have them uploaded to AI and say, you know what, here's some random notes, summarize these key points in the decisions made, action items. And then from there, summarize the key points. And I even say, you know, make this an image so we can send it out to our team. So within a couple minutes, real quick, real easy. Now, if you don't want to do this, there's also tools, a lot of AI tools out there that can join the meeting and summarize it and then create a paragraph as well and do this for you. But either way, it's pretty quick that you can implement. So complacency, right? So we have different types of businesses, organizations. Some, they want to coast, they want to stay at the same level, nothing wrong with that. Others want to grow their organization, their chamber. Now, complacency gets involved, so you can have this technology help us with growth in business planning as well. Not everybody has a business advisor available, and we don't have a business plan expert. So using this to help you with your goals. So for example, create a weekly execution rhythm for Chamber of Commerce leaders targeting growth in membership. Think about membership recruitment. And also think about, you could say, this is what I do right now to get business. This is what I struggle with. And this is my goal for the next quarter. This is my revenue target for the next year. Give me a weekly plan on how can I reach those goals. And also think about the tasks. A lot of times we spend so much time focusing on tasks that don't generate revenue. So as business people, we want to focus on revenue generating tasks that's going to get the most results possible. We want to delegate effectively, and we want to connect with the tasks that can take us to the next level. So make these into quarterly KPIs, monthly recruitment targets, and other areas as well. So now that we talked about kind of the meetings, communications, and the connections, let's talk about what I mentioned earlier in the presentation. Let's talk about AI for search. So here's the top search engines right here: Google, Bing, Yahoo, and then even Ask. Can anybody guess the last search engine that brings traffic? Whoever gets it right gets a free trip to Houston, Texas. Just kidding, you don't get a free trip to Houston. starts with an A. AOL, there we go. AOL. Anybody still have an AOL email address? Don't be ashamed. Okay, there we go. One person. All right, so don't be ashamed. All right, so AOL email address, nothing wrong with that. But 97% of people search online before making a purchase. Right now, that doesn't matter anymore because people are using AI to search for products and services that they need. People think that it's just about information, but I talk to customers every day. We look at their back-end data, and it literally says that 20% traffic is coming from AI searches. A small percentage of those are actually purchases. So it's not just people going to look at the website. People are actually making purchases based off of these search engines as well. Now, you're desperate for an answer if you go to the second page of Google, right? So old graphic, but that doesn't matter anymore either, So now it's not about first page, it's about being top 5 listed in these AI searches as well. So people used to search business chamber, business association. Now that's different. Now it's more so I'm looking for a business group that helps small business owners. And they're going to put that in the AI searches instead of the regular searches. And I said, I'm looking for a business organization I can join in New York. The goal is for me to get involved in the community and access educational resources. And this is a list that it gave me. Manhattan Chamber of Commerce, all right, NYC Small Business Services. So it's going to give me a list right there. So are you recommended? I'm looking for a business organization I can join in Atlanta. The goal is for me to get involved and attend networking events. Look at this. Local chambers. Atlanta has multiple chambers of commerce and industry-focused associations. And then it gives you right here the link where it's getting the information from. So it's not just one website. How to narrow it down. Ask yourself, do you want general business networking? How often can you attend weekly, monthly versus annual, your industry role, age range? So if you don't have some of this information on your website, then you're losing out. I tell people all the time, people think the best way to get content for your customer is to do searches on your product or services, but I don't believe that. I believe that the most important information is the follow-up question that AI is giving the searchers, such as content like this. I'm looking for a business organization I can join in Wisconsin. The goal is for me to get involved and attend networking events and get educated on how to grow my business. And here we go, local chamber of commerce, Wisconsin, right here. But also, here's the most important part. If you want the best fit based on where you are, tell me your Wisconsin city or metro area, and I'll narrow it to top 3 organization with the most useful events for your kind of business. So it's not just, hey, I know my audience anymore. It's more so, what is their lifestyle? What do they really want? And again, you want this content to be on your branding, on your website. But that brings me to another point is, what does AI say about you? If you were to do a search, what does it say? Does it say accurate information? I was talking to a customer months ago, and we looked up his content on AI tools, and it said his brand was cheap. Most companies don't want to be associated with cheap, right? So then that content is being pushed out to his potential customer. So you want to figure out what is being said. Is everything accurate? What does the Chamber of Commerce do in Nebraska? Is this person here? Anybody? All right. Oh, there we go. Is this accurate, hopefully? For the most part? 60% accurate? So you want to search right here. So how is AI educating your customer? Right here we have, in a business owner looking to join an association that can help my business grow, what should I consider when I'm looking for one? Now, regardless of if they ask that question, AI is going to give them that response. So tangible benefits, events and education, reputation and leadership, how long they've been around. Chambers often always offer ways to build your local profile. So again, put that content in your website. And look at this. Perplexity right here is now showing images. So what does that mean? As a chamber, you want to make sure you have quality images of people, because if you're going to the dentist, for example, you're going to go to their website and you're going to look at their office. Same thing with a chamber. People are going to go to your website and look at pictures of events you've had. So add those pictures. And a quick tip is, whenever you're uploading, you can tell your IT person, but make sure you name the file name. Business networking events, Chamber, Florida, Business Association, Miami, things like that. So you can come up when AI is searching your content. And look at this, Grand Rapids area right here. I bring this website up because it illustrates my point is more content, the better. So the more pages you have, the more content that's giving to these AI searches. So this chapter right here, Selena, notice what they did. They say where to stay, where to eat, right? Sports, meeting and event services. Now, they could have had one page where it lists all the things you can do in that city, but instead they have different pages. So this is a perfect example of how you want to do your website. Make sure you have content. Are they here today? Oh, there you go. Give her a hand. There we go. So an SEO expert walks into a bar, bars, pub, public house, right? So in general, you want to make sure you have the words. But now, it's not even like that anymore. It's more so a chamber representative was recommended by AI to go to an event. So it's a lot of things going on. Now, whenever you're doing all this marketing in AI, you want to make sure you're tracking the results. So GA4 is a good tool. It helps you see where your visitors are coming from. Also, it shows you what device they're using, such as iPhone, tablet, Samsung phone, or any type of response, right? And not only that, but it tells you if they're standing up or sitting down when they're on your website. Just kidding, they don't say that. You never know, right? You never know. But I say that because you can do predictive information. So it'll predict what type of visitors, interactions you're gonna have in the next 30 days. What type of purchases you're gonna have in the next 30 days as well, because of AI. So these are tools that have AI implemented in them that you can use to help predict what's going on. Now, we talked about search. Let's go into actual content. Anybody use AI for content as far as social media? All right, there we go. Yeah, it's social media, right? Now, first question I get whenever I bring this up as far as what to post is, hey, what's the best time to post on social media? And yeah, that's the popular question. Best time to post, Instagram. You have Monday through Thursday, LinkedIn, 8 to 10 a.m. LinkedIn, they said the best time to post on LinkedIn is on Thursday. My opinion is that by Thursday, everybody's fed up with their jobs, and on LinkedIn, I'm not sure if that's correct, but you never know. That's what I think, right? But again, that doesn't matter, because now you have this technology that'll tell you exactly when to post, what type of things to post for your industry, not just in general. You don't have to go to Google and say, hey, what is the best time to post, right? You want to be specific to your audience, because remember what I said before, now it's not about just knowing who your audience is in general. You have to know their lifestyle, their motivators, what they're into, what they like to do, where they're at during the day, any moment. So also, you got to think about you can use Gemini to use the video feature, and you can hover over something, and it'll tell you exactly what you're looking at, which is very powerful as well. You can upload videos, and it can be chopped into 3 different edits, and also add caption automatically. And you can just think about how can you use this technology to make your content more emotional, connect at a deeper level. Anybody recognize this website? Hopefully you do. Anybody? There you go, Joanne. You okay? Anybody else? What website is this? Okay, this is the main website. Anybody recognize this image? It's one of the slideshows. I think Joanne does. But we say, you know what can we do to make this more interactive if they didn't have a videographer available, they didn't have a person that can edit, and we made this person walk right here. So he made this person walk. You can see he does lose his hair right here, but so made this person walk. And anybody recognize this chamber? Tulsa Regional Chamber? Anybody? Anybody? Oh, okay, there we go, right here. Anybody you recognize this page? Hopefully. Oh, that's your chamber. Okay, cool. This is the image, right? Okay, yeah. So what we did is, what if they wanted to make it more interactive? So we made this image move. Right? So all they got to do is post on social media, put some graphics on it, 5 seconds, you're in. Anybody? Thanks, yeah. What about Greater Miami Chamber? Anybody recognize this chamber? All right. So Greater Miami. So they have this is their image right here. And again, we were like, what can we do? What do you think we did with this image right here? Oh yeah, there we go. Made a car go by. And then we were like, let's put their logo on it. So we put their logo on it. Again, 10 seconds, this is done. Now, the problem is prompting matters. Because I was like, I was at a client event, and I said, let's make this white car move. And all of a sudden, a lawnmower showed up. So the prompting matters. All right, so you have to give AI the right thing so you don't get embarrassed. So responsibilities. So here, use AI to enhance personalization, not remove it. So you definitely want to have more connection. So relevance in AI. Relevance in an AI world. So we're all thinking what's going to happen in the future, what's going to happen to jobs, what's going to happen to our business. But we got to think about how can we become relevant no matter what happens. So one way to become relevant is to have a deep understanding of your audience. So you want to think about not just who my audience is, but think about what are their motivations, what are they going to want in the future, what is their lifestyle. Understanding them at that point will help you move forward and always connect instead of them going to other competitors. And not only that, what do you think Nike sells? What does Nike sell in the customer's mind? Shoes. Do they endorse anybody? They endorse anybody? Any athlete? The best, right? They endorse people that win. So they're selling winning. So for your organization, what are you really selling in the customer's mind that can help them remember your brand? Influencers. And when I say influencers, I don't mean the people that you pay online on social media. I mean the people that really matter, that have been coming to your business for years, that have been there for you and you've been there for them as well. These are the real influencers that's going to share your message no matter what technology is out. So this chamber right here, Madison Chamber, anybody there? Oh, there you go, yeah. So great photo gallery right here. If you notice, these are the real influencers. These are the people that have been coming to the events. So you want to spend time with these people. Bay Area Chamber. I brought this up because they went to their location for their opening. So that means a lot. That's something they can remember moving forward in the future. And don't forget emotional content, right? So emotional content gets people to share. And one thing that I noticed too in Houston, there was a dad that started his first donut shop with his son. And on the opening day, something happened. Nobody showed up. empty parking lot, they're both sad. The son did a post, my dad is sad because no one is coming to his donut shop. Within a day, they sold out. That post got over 700,000 likes. Now, they could have acted like everything was great, but in reality, they wanted to be honest. They wanted to have a connection on a deeper level with their audience, with emotional content. Right? And I talked to the guy. He said that they have 3 locations now, just because of this, right? And don't forget to make phone calls with your audience and connect with them on a different level. This person said, hey, Morns, can you meet me at Newark Airport with the port house when I land in 2 hours? And they met them at Morns. So creating those magic moments that people will remember moving forward in the future. And remember, 80% of what we do only brings 20% of value. 20% brings 80% of the value. So let's have AI do the percentage that doesn't matter to us. And remember, don't overthink it. All right. So again, we talked about a lot of different things today. You can scan this QR code. This will give you the tip sheet right here. Connect on LinkedIn. So I'll tag you in some posts, and also Instagram right here. Now, one thing you got to remember is we talked about a lot of different areas. We talked about communication, using technology to improve our communication. Remember, AI is learning from us, but we are also learning from AI. Another area we talked about was being relevant in the future. Think about having a deep understanding of your audience. Also, think about what do you really sell in the customer's minds. Also, we talked about making sure you're using content to your advantage, creating that emotional content that's going to pay off in the long run. All right, thanks for having me. I've been Chris, and I'll be here in the back for any questions. Thanks.